And now it is all yours.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Topsham Community Center Committee meeting for October 17th. Erica, we see that you're on there, so hello.
Oops, she can see me this.
Hello.
Oh, good. You are there. Okay, good.
Are you the Woodside School PTO as well?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, it looks like that's not disconnected, but we didn't know if we had an audience for the first time ever. So.
No, I must be hooked up to the Woodside Zoom account on my phone right now. I didn't know. Thanks for letting me know.
That one's now closed, and now we still see you as Erica, so don't think you worry about it.
So we're here today. Roger's taking minutes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And any changes to this agenda? I did add today that Mary Kate is resigning from the committee and we'll need to find another member and talk about that. So that's one change to the agenda. Anything else that people want to add? No? Okay. And any changes to the minutes?
The only recommendation I had is that we use full names on the beginning part where we say who's in attendance, because although we know each other, if someone looks at this 2
Right.
years from now, they're not going to know who those people are
Okay.
necessarily. So referring to people by first name in the content is fine, but to have at the top. the
Okay,
name.
starting it with that.
Yeah,
That's
we,
a good
we
idea.
have a template anyway, we normally use, right? So we could
Yeah.
just put them all in there and just remove who's not here.
Okay, and Roger, I can send you the
Yeah.
minutes so that you can type into the minutes and then we can.
Oh, cool.
Okay, that's a great suggestion.
Is Mark's letter part of the agenda that you sent us recently that we wanted to go over? The request for people?
Yes,
Oh,
the request for proposal, yes.
okay,
Yeah, it is. That's number 6.
okay, thank you.
So for committee logistics is how I titled it, is I guess my choice to step out of the lead chair role and figuring out how we're going to manage this. And
All opposed?
and who would like to step forward? I think we're in a bit of a change with Mary Kate completely withdrawing, and then I am not interested in withdrawing. I definitely want to stay a part of the committee and be a part of the committee. I just can't quite take the level that I've been doing, and what I did take the liberty of doing, and I didn't print it, but I thought I would just go through what I see my roles as so far. You can put this into the minutes. I can share this with you. But so far, what I'm seeing it is running the meeting, completing the minutes after someone takes the minutes and emailing those to Pam. Creating the agenda for the next meeting and emailing that to Pam. Emailing the group the week before the meeting to see who's coming and remind people of the meeting. Training new members, and that was either myself or Mary Kate, who was available. Mary Kate and I have been starting to work on creating and maintaining a Google Drive of important information to share with new members. And then I have coordinating with consultants. Who knows what the need is going to be in that way, but I think that would be something that would be important, or delegating that as well. And presenting at select board meetings, and that doesn't happen a lot, I think I've done it 2 or 3 times really, so with another one coming if and when. And then determining how you work best, if you work best as a co-chair, which I definitely did. I liked that dynamic a lot, but you may or may not want that, or the group may or may not want that. So deciding if you want a co-chair and how that partnership will work. And then for Mary Kate, she has brought so much to my experience. But what I wrote here is the co-chair can help with details of agendas, brainstorming and envisioning where the group is headed. And those of you that know Mary Kate, she's amazingly detail oriented and she's got such a vision for public health stuff. So it's just been so helpful to have her in that way. But, just to figure out who you want to work with and how you want to do it. So I didn't know if that's helpful necessarily, but I thought that might be a way to frame it for who's ready to, and we can also divide up and do however we want to do this, right? So I don't know, Mark, if you have seen other people and how other committees have done this? Is it always one coach, one chair as a lead, or? you know, other
It's
ways to do it?
either way, yeah, some have one, some have two. I think it's kind of hard to have no lead, but then. You know, go in a circle, I guess, basically nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like it's, anyway, it just depends on where people are at and what they're up for doing. Has anybody thought about it?
I'd like to table this discussion for 6 months. please. Mhm.
I'm not in a good place to do it right now.
Yeah.
I have a wedding plan.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. So I would, I could probably consider co-chairing
Mhm.
if we go that route. But I don't have a lot of it. My experience lies in fundraising
Mhm.
and doing hands-on stuff, not so much the administrative aspect of it. So that's my piece.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have the time really to commit to that.
I understand.
This is what we're doing, we're going around the table.
Sure, let's go with it.
No, I just think it's hard because
Yeah.
this is kind of the same thing, like I can't even commit to being able to regularly attend as much as I would like to. I can't, and I don't, but we can't do it without people doing it, and I don't know how to make it, happen, I mean. I really don't, I mean, this is the same thing that we had with the comp plan, the same situation was happening that. People would do it for a while, and then it was like, it was more than what we thought, and then all of a sudden, I just wasn't available after like almost a year, like it was just. So I mean, it's just like this cycle, and I don't know how to fix it, honestly, and I can't commit to that. I appreciate that you did, and I appreciate that MK did, but I personally, I can't commit to it, I just don't even know if I can. Come from week to week,
Right.
so,
Right.
and it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I can't prioritize this over. My family commitment stuff and then work and whatever happens with that and all those things, so it's just. I don't know how to do it though and make things happen without having.
So the way I look at it, the position essentially is. I feel like if you're able to come to these, you can probably be able to commit to that role. Because the way I typically lead in my experiences in the past is delegation. So not necessarily, all those things are important, but you can easily pass those on to people that are willing to put in the time as well. So I mean, if you're here, I mean, I feel like anybody could really do it. Really, I mean, it's not like you're not like the president of the United States or anything here.
Right.
So if you're able to be present and slam a gavel every once in a while,
Give it a go.
oh.
I would like you to refer you to the minutes from the June or July meeting when we were having trouble getting someone to take minutes. And you said, well, I could step down as the chair and take minutes.
Yes.
And I believe Steve said at that meeting, and we can get it on video.
Oh, that was a joke though.
that he said, well, I could lead the meetings.
And and honestly, I could, because if I was to do it, then I would easily, I would say, Lynn, this is what you're in charge of. And
What you could
and
ask.
exactly.
because,
No, you know what I mean. But I think it needs to, no matter what, moving forward, we're all very busy. I think the whole entire committee needs to be an actual committee where we're all one happy family. We're all doing roles ourselves
Right.
and not one
What's
person
your
in
chore?
charge.
Right.
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 So, and that's why Lynn, it was great that she just said, look, my experiences with fundraising and stuff like that. So that's really important for us all to know that when that happens, then we know who we can lean on, and that can be like her forte for at the time. And I don't know, I'm more than happy to be an interim person unless Ann is stepping up, but
I think Ann would be perfect.
I don't know if this helps or hurts with the decision. But I think we lost a lot when UNH said they can't do it. Because unfortunately, I think based on what Brunswick got, we're gonna get responses of $60,000 or $70,000 to this. And I think that's probably gonna be unable to, be, we're not gonna be able to get $60,000 or $70,000 to do that. So we may be kind of hitting a wall when those come back. So then the question becomes at that point, is there much more work to do?
Well, I guess the way I look at it though is then what is our next move? If that does happen, I'm I'm very transparent. So I'm sort of having this vision of like, okay, so we don't get this big community center because the likelihood of that
Oh,
all
no,
happening.
you won't have a needs assessment.
We won't have a needs assessment, right? So which means we're not gonna have something big. What if we just say, let's build a small teen center that is, and that has a community room? That could be multi-generational, right? We just like really bring a smaller idea to the board and talk about that. And, so do we need a needs assessment? Does
As
that
I
mean
say,
no, we
even
don't-
that, I think you need to be able to show.
we know we don't have that. We know we don't. So anyway, so that's where, yes, it doesn't have, that's where I put in the brain space of like, this isn't just, give it a lot more thought than just coming to the meetings, because I think about, okay, where are we on the calendar and when do I have to send this? Da, da, da. Like there's, and maybe I absolutely support your idea of if everybody was doing a little bit more, then I think it would be easier to do. Right? It would be easier to be in a chair position. But I think also we hear that everybody's having a hard time doing as much as they are. So it's multifaceted,
So, well.
I would consider it in the future, but just not at the moment. And
Sure.
people go, why? No.
No, it's your business.
Yeah.
I also think that we could also look at other opportunities. Lynn and I and Pam went over and met with the Six Rivers people, and that was really interesting to me, and it was kind of also disappointing at the same time that we didn't kind of go in at this together with them, which I think would be more beneficial to everybody involved. So it's almost like, is it too late? I don't know. They haven't done much over there since we met with them. They haven't done anything really. But that dome needs to go. Seacoast isn't there forever. They're not planning on staying there. They're looking for people to buy it. So how much is buildable over there? So that's kind of something that, we could consider exploring as well, especially if these come back as being really expensive. Because they already have fundraising. They already have a captive audience of people that are willing to support a community center. There's so many benefits involved in kind of teaming up with something that's already in place. So I saw Wicked Joe's not get purchased by our school. And now I don't want to see another thing go by where we're kicking ourselves in the foot for not trying to team up with somebody else.
I'm gonna pause. You're not gonna lose us, Erica, but I'm gonna pause the recording for a minute.